This is VOA News. Reporting by remote, I'm Joe Ramsey. This gunman who murdered 19 children and 2 teachers posted on social media he was going to shoot up an elementary school about 15 minutes before his rampage, Texas Governor Greg Abbott said on Wednesday, as details about the attack continue to emerge. Abbott said 18-year-old Salvador Ramos also wrote a message saying he was going to shoot his grandmother and another one confirming he had done so. She survived and called police. Ramos fled the home he shared with his grandmother and crashed his car near Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. He entered the school through a back door carrying an AR-15 assault-style rifle and wearing tactical gear. He barricaded himself in a 4th-grade classroom, authorities said, and killed students and teachers before he was fatally shot by a U.S. Border Patrol officer, according to the governor. When it comes to U.S. federal lawmakers, Senate Democratic Chief Chuck Schumer is pushing Republicans to finally act on guns. AP Washington correspondent Sagar Magani reports.
With 19 little kids dead.
Please, damn it, please, think if it was your child or grandchild.
But Schumer notes the prospects of GOP senators shifting course and helping pass substantial laws to curb gun violence are very slim, even as leader Mitch McConnell blasted the shooting.
It's literally sickening.
Alabama Republican Tommy Tuberville said regulating guns won't solve anything. This is a mental health issue.
Guns are not the problem, okay? People are the problem.
New Jersey Democrat Cory Booker says that's the problem. Minds are made up. It doesn't matter if more kids died.
This is just going to be the same thing as it was after Parkland, after Newtown. Here, nothing is changing.
Sagar Magani, Washington.
This is VOA News. U.S. President Joe Biden is seeking to reform federal and local policing with a broad executive order on Wednesday, the second anniversary of the death of George Floyd, while urging a seemingly immovable Congress to act on police and gun reform. The order directs all federal agencies to revise their use of force policies, creates a national registry of officers fired for misconduct, and will use grants to encourage state and local police to restrict the use of chokehold and neck restraints.
It's a measure of what we can do together to heal the very soul of this nation, to address profound fear and trauma, exhaustion that particularly Black Americans have experienced for generations, and to channel that private pain and public outrage into a rare mark of progress for years to come.
He had not signed it earlier, he said, because he was hoping Congress would pass a police reform law named after Floyd. The bill fell apart in the U.S. Senate last September under Republican opposition. As the United Nations human rights chief visits China, human rights groups, including Amnesty International, have said the UN rights chief must speak out against human rights abuses. VOA's Marissa Melton reports.
The Office of UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, said Friday that her 6-day visit to China would include cities in the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in northwest China, where Beijing is accused of genocide by the U.S. government. The United States and some Western countries say Beijing has put over 1 million Uyghurs and other Turkic Muslim ethnic minorities into internment camps. The Western powers say Beijing has subjected its detainees to torture, sterilization, and forced labor. Chinese state media Xinhua calls the camps vocational training institutes and says they're meant to help revitalize rural areas of Xinjiang. It also says decreases in birth rates in Xinjiang resulted from the eradication of religious extremism. Uyghurs in exile call the region East Turkestan. The Chinese government calls it Xinjiang. Marissa Melton, VOA News.
Recapping our top story, the U.S. gunman who murdered 19 children and 2 teachers posted on social media he was going to shoot up an elementary school about 15 minutes before his rampage, Texas Governor Greg Abbott said on Wednesday, as details about the attack continue to emerge. Abbott said 18-year-old Salvador Ramos also wrote a message saying he was going to shoot his grandmother and another one confirming he had done so. She survived and called police. Ramos fled the home he shared with his grandmother, crashed his car, entered through a back door, used an AR-15, barricaded himself in a 4th-grade classroom, and killed students and teachers. Reporting by remote, I'm Joe Ramsey.